Okay, the recording the recording has started. Hi guys. For those that don't know me, my name is Adefe. For those that are new here, my name is Adefe. it's nice to have you guys. We've started some discussions as regards trading, what trading is, who are the big players, what do we do, how do we make money, apps to use, pips, lot size, some very background beginner information. Right. So the next topic, right, is candlesticks. And I'm taking candlesticks in two classes because of the fact that everything is like the backbone of whatever we are doing here is dependent on your knowledge of candlesticks or having proper understanding of candlesticks and how candlesticks work, what are candlesticks, and the entire idea of candlesticks in general. For those that are serious, in the Google Drive, oh, okay, for those that are new here, let me quickly address that. We have a Google Drive that has the course outline for the part one of this mentorship. And we're on the last topic of the part one. I've treated every other single thing on on the on the course outline. Let me just use that for lack of better words. On the course outline, I've treated every other single thing. And what's left is candlesticks for part one of that course outline. And as I said, everything you do is dependent on your knowledge of candlesticks. For those that have probably been trading before or have some crypto idea or crypto knowledge, background knowledge, you probably know what candlesticks are and you probably know how candlesticks function, right? So, but now there are some other very intrinsic understanding or level that you have to or level of knowledge that you have to understand before you can properly navigate, this whole trading thing. And it's very important when it comes to the whole trading and understanding what candlesticks are and understanding what candlesticks are. So yeah, not to keep anyone waiting, let's just go straight to the point of today's class. Okay, sorry, before I go further, this mentorship program is powered by Acetrove. Acetrove is a proprietary firm startup that I started with my friends, two of my friends actually, and um, two of my trading partners. So, for those that don't know what the proprietary firm is, the proprietary firm is how do I properly explain this now? So, proprietary firm is a company that uses its own money to trade financial markets, right? So instead of trading on behalf of clients, instead of trading on behalf of, oh, I'm coming. This one noise just okay. So instead of trading on behalf of clients, instead of soliciting client funds, a proprietary firm trades its own money, right, and uses its own money to navigate whatever asset class that it's trading. So that's the basic idea of what we're trying to build at Astrove, is to have like a proper proprietary firm where we have in-house fund that the traders that we employ in the firm trade. They get a cut of the profits that they are able to make, and they also get their base salary, of course, and other benefits like that. So I mean, that's the entire point of having a prop firm. So a traditional prop firm. I mean, some of you are conversant with what a proprietary firm is as regards, evaluation funds, things like evaluation firms rather, things like FTMO, my funded FX, things like that. I mean, those are not actually prop firms in the traditional sense of things. You can call them evaluation firms, you can call them whatever, but they're not prop firms because you're not trading their fund. They're trading virtual fund, but they pay you regardless. They pay you from fees that people, that's a long story anyway. But to just cut the long story short, Acetrove is a proprietary firm startup that I started with two of my friends, and I said they're my trading partners as well. So I think instead of going out to find the best traders around the world or the best traders as we build the company and as we build a name for ourselves, educational platforms and educational and mentorship programs can also be used to groom our own traders. At least we know that okay, this trader is built on our own philosophy, was built on whatever what kind of culture that we imbibe in them. So that is that about that. So as from today, the Astrove Gmail will be the one handling the mentorship program, and sometimes, especially for the weekly outlooks, my co-founder and or the CFO, the chief financial officer, can take the what they call it now, can take the weekly outlook and other educational content. So if you are hearing me, you can just react. So I know that people are hearing me. I'm not just talking to myself. Oh, okay, perfect. Someone is raising their hand, right? Okay. No. All right, let me just share my screen. Let me share the forex chart. Today was a very good day for me too, trading wise. But yeah, everything you see right now on your charts is candlesticks, basically. Everything here, everything here, now this blue and red stuff that you see on the screen, they are candlesticks. But how do we read candlesticks? They look so, for someone that is a beginner, they look so complex. They're like, oh, what is this? There was this one time in I think I was in 200 level, and then I had my trading view out on my laptop, and somebody was like, oh, do you edit videos? Because of like they look like all this timeline stuff in video editing, I guess. I was like, no, 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 like I trade the foreign exchange market. But like, oh, okay, okay. Because they can look, it looks, it looks like a lot, right? It looks like a lot, but it's very simple. There's nothing really complex about it. There's nothing complex about it at all. Please, you can see my screen. Just thumbs up. Also, let me be sure that you guys can see my screen. Okay. So I'm sure that you guys can see. I'm sure that you guys can see my screen. Um. Yeah. So everything here, they are candlesticks, and candlesticks exist on every single time frame, right? On every single time frame. Now I'm on the 4 hour time frame, as you can see right here, 4 hours. These are the time frames that I favorited. These are the time frames that I trade. Why do I pick these time frames? As time goes on, you understand. So if you go to the monthly time frame, for instance, you still see candlesticks there. You still see candlesticks there. If you go to the weekly time frame, candlesticks. If you go to the daily, sorry. If you go to the daily candlesticks, 4 hour candlesticks, 1 hour candlesticks, 30 minutes candlesticks, 15 minutes candlesticks, 5 minutes, 1 second candlesticks. So there are candlesticks that exist on every time frame. But what stories did these candlesticks tell? Right? And what does the color signify? Is the color important? Because most times most people most people have like a, what do they call it now? A color coded candlesticks, red for sell, green for buy, so that they can properly understand. It's good for um what do you call it? It's good for like a visual representation of price, right? But it's not just about the colors. If I change these colors, I can change my buys to red and I can change my sales to green, right? When I initially started trading, I used to trade like I used to trade a very blank or a very bleak chart system. My candles were black and white, right? So it's not really about the colors. It's There's a story that each candle tells that you can use to know whether it's a buy candle or whether it's a sell candle. So let me explain it properly. Now, a candle has 4 elements. Every single candle has 4 elements. Opening, open, high, low, and close. Open, high, low, and close are the 4 elements of every single candlestick. Every single candlestick has this. Or let me put it for better understanding. Open price, highest price. Let me use highest price, lowest price, and close price. So now, what determines the opening and the closing of a candlestick? Time. Time. Time determines the open and close of a candlestick. I think it's very important that if you haven't been writing in any of the other Google Meets that we've had, or any of the other classes that we've had, I will implore you that you write for this one, because if you do not understand this particular concept I'm about to teach, you cannot understand anything going forward. That's the truth. Because everything going forward relies on understanding the concepts and the story that a candlestick tells. Right? So back to the chart. Now every candlestick or every candle, I can use candlestick, they mean the same thing. Has 4 elements: the opening price, the highest points the candle went to, the lowest points the candle went to, and the closing price of the candle. Right? So now, as I said, what determines the opening and the closing of a candle? Time. Now, if you look at my chart here, we are on the. I'm coming. Someone raised their hand. If you have anything to say, put it on the chat box. I will be lowering that hand. Thank you. If you have anything to say, just put it on the chat box. I will get to it. I will see it. So, time, as I was saying, time determines everything. Time determines everything. Oh, sorry. The opening and the closing of a candle, right, is determined by time. So, if you see this part of my, I'm coming. Give me a minute. If you can hear some background noise from my end, can you just react? Let me be sure that you guys. I'm sure that the background noise is not affecting it so much. If you are hearing any background, like, because there's like a church behind me, so if you are hearing that, just, or if that's distracting you, just react. So I can know if I can. I know if I can carry on. Ah, come on. There is no background noise. Okay, it's not distracting. All right, nice. So back to what I was saying. I said time determines the opening and okay. All right, all right. Time determines the open and close of a candle. Remember, I said that every candle has these four elements, right? So the open and close, when a candle starts and when a candle stops, in preparation or in when the candle starts and when the candle stops for another candle to open. What determines that? Obviously, time. So if you look at this my chart, if you look up here on my charts, you will see you will see the daily, the day, you will see one day. So this is like the daily time frame, right? We call it, I call the sorry, it's called they are called time frames. So right now we are on the daily time frame, as you can see up here. D. We are on the daily time frame, and if you come to this part of the screen, you will see the countdown. We have 1 hour left, 1 hour 35 minutes left for this daily, for the daily to close, the daily candle to close. So when the daily candle, when this time elapses, this candle will close and another candle will open, right? This candle will close and another candle will open. So if you go to the 1 hour time frame, you can see we have 35 more minutes for this current 1 hour candle. Every candle on the last part of the screen is always the current candle, right? It doesn't, the time frame does not matter. It's the current candle on every time frame. So this candle here is the current 1 hour candle, right? It's going to close in about 34 minutes. When it closes, another one will open. So every single candle here opens every 1 hour, or every single candle here opened every 1 hour. After 1 hour, another candle open. After another hour, another candle open. After another hour, another candle open. After another hour, another candle open. Same thing if you go to another time frame. Even every 30 minutes. So this is every 4 hours, right? So that's what determines the opening or the open and close of a candle. Time. Time is the determining factor for that. Now, let me zoom in on the candle. Let me zoom in on the candle. So, okay, let me explain it this way. Let me explain it this way. Now, this chart, right, is a representation of price. If you look at the right part of the screen, you can see all these different prices of the Euro USD, right? I mean, we have talked about all that before in the past. So these are the current prices. But because I'm not really zoomed in, that like now, if I keep zooming in, you see that the prices keep enlarging themselves, enlarging themselves. So if I zoom out, they will just turn to round figures that is just visually easy for me. But for every single level on this chart is price. Every single level is price. But like, okay, let me give you an example of what I'm saying. If I turn it to a grid, let's see how much. If I do something like this, you will see the price lines. So the price lines keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You get, see, if you now have zoomed out to like the very max that you can see it per peak movement, right? So this is how the chart. I feel this is very overwhelming. If you don't understand what I'm saying, can you like just thumbs up? If you don't understand what I'm explaining about price lines and charts, just thumbs up so I can properly explain, or put it in the chat box. Just if you don't understand, just let me know so that I can take my time to properly understand. Okay, Tolulope, very good. So now we talked about pips the other time, except you're not in that class. And I said pips is a pip is the smallest movement of price, and a pip starts from the fourth decimal number, right? So now when we come here, sef, then I talked about the pipet. Pipet is the fifth decimal number, but it's inconsequential. The main movement starts from the fourth decimal number. So you can even see here that price literally, because I've zoomed in into the chart to the marks, you can see that his price is reading here by every single pipet, not even pip this time, sef, by every single pipet, price is moving. Sure, you get. So if, but I don't need these lines because I already know that it's price, right? So I don't need these lines on the chart all the time. You can see it 1.1482, 1.1483, 1.1484, 1.14. You get like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. I mean, you don't need, sure, you get. You don't need all of that. You just know that there, there's price there. So it's just better to have your chart clean, right? And if you check here, you can see the current price. This is the current price here, 1.15764. This is the current price. So these candlesticks are representation of price. So at the end of every if the time has elapsed, right? Okay, let's go to the 5 minute and watch it live. Okay, we will close in about 5 seconds. You will see the opening of another candle. Okay, so this is the last candle. Then you see another candle has opened. This one has closed. Another candle has opened here, right? Because on the 5 minute time frame, so there's a opening of a new candle every 5 minutes. So you can see how it's trading. Is buying. It was selling before now. That is buying now. It has changed to green. Things like that. So I'm going to probably explain that. Let me go back to the 1 hour time frame. So I'm going to probably explain now. Every candle opens, right? Every candle opens. Come here. This is a candlestick. Come, give me a minute. This is a candlestick, right? When the candle opens, it's open like this. It's open as it just entered price, like a brand new line of price. It will open in a brand new line of price. So it can either go up or go down or go up. Remember that we opened in this place. That opening price does not move away. Oh. Sure, you get. You can either go up or go down. Let me make a visual representation of what I'm explaining. I'll give you an example of what I'm explaining properly. See this place here. This place here is where price opens. So price will open like this. It will just open after a new candle opens. It's open like this as a new line of price. Right now the price is always on the right side, so it will open. You can see where the candlestick, the price. Then it can either go up, but you can see that down is still constant. It doesn't move. It can either go up or go down, go up or go down, go up or go down, go up or go down. But that place where it opened is the opening price. Remember, I said as it's moving like this, as it's moving down like this, is line of price. Okay, very good. You can check the right hand side of the screen. You can see as I'm moving it down, price is changing. I'm sure you can see it. As I'm moving it up, price is changing. Right? Price is changing. So it's like showing you every new line of price. So once it comes down, price also will be changing. But you can see that 1.15670, that blue one, it doesn't change because that's the opening price, right? It can be either going up or coming down, going up or coming down to show you every new line of price, going up or coming down, going up or coming down. So depending on how you set it, that's now depending on the color. If you set your buy as green and your sell as red, once it goes above the opening price, it will be automatically become green because it's above its opening price. So it's buying, obviously, because it's above the opening price, right? Once it comes below the opening price, it's selling. She gets it, it will turn to red again. So as it's going up again, it will be green. If it comes down below the opening price, it will be red. It will be green, it will be red, it will be green, it will be red, it will be green, it will be red. Now, this is a buy candle like this, right? This is a buy candle, but for visual representation, let's just make it green so that you can easily understand. This is a buy candle like this. Now, there's something that you always see on a candle that will look like this. Come here, listen. Hey, sorry. What am I doing? Right, okay. Very good. So it will look like this. You see this something that is here. We call it a wick. Sorry. We call this long. You can see it everywhere here. You can see these long things. Long things. It's called a wick. It's called a wick. Then this is called, sorry. This is called the body. So a candlestick basically has body and wicks, right? This is the body of the candle, and then this is the wick. So what is a wick in a candle, right? A wick is like showing you the history of that candle. Now, remember this is the opening price of the candle, right? If you remember our this thing I was trying to demonstrate. This is the opening price of the candle here. Open price. This is the opening price of the candle here, right? Because we are above the opening price, that's why this candle is a buy candle. That's what makes it green, right? Logically. Then there are wicks. What do these wicks represent? These wicks show you that price has been here before. That's the idea of a wick. Please, can you still hear me? Just thumbs up if you can hear my voice. I want to be very sure that, okay, I'm making sense. Ayomide Adedamola, please, if you have anything to say, just use the chat box. Okay, you put your hand down. Just react. Very good. Thank you very much. If you're understanding what I'm saying too, you can react. If what I'm saying is making sense to you. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So now we have the body, the wick. Okay, now back to the opening price. These wicks show you that price has been here before. You can see this wick below the opening price. That means that at some point, this candle was a sell candle. It came below its opening price, but it stopped here, then went back. That means it has come this high before, then sold back inside again, and then closed here. If the time has elapsed, it will close for another candle to open. So this is basically what a candlestick is, right? And you can see the exact same thing on on the chart, you can see this candle now. It opened here. This is the opening price. It opened here. It sold off up to this point. Created this wick there. This wick here is showing us that okay, at some point, price came below its opening price, and then came down here, and then went back above his opening price, came up all the way up here, and then came back down again and closed here for another candle to open, right? But this week above this candle here shows us that at some point the candle was up here, like the candle was buying up to this point, but it did not close there. Now this point where the candle had been before is now becomes the eye of the candle, right? That point now becomes the high. Then this place becomes the low, because that was the lowest point. Sorry. That was the lowest point that price, ever came to. So this is basically the anatomy of a candlestick. This is basically the anatomy. This is what a representation of the candlestick. It has the four elements. It has the opening. Okay, definitely this is the close. Then it closes here. After the time elapsed, for another candle to open, at the time it elapsed, this was where the candlestick stopped. So close there. So you can see we have the opening price, we have the highest points the candle has been to, we have the lowest point, we have the close, we have wicks, and the body obviously, and the wicks. Okay, you get. So if you are okay, the candle close like this will be the closing price. And let's now assume that at some point, let's now assume that this was not a what will I call it now? This was not a buy candle. Now let's assume that it's a sell candle, and it came below its opening price. So change the color. Let's change the color to red. Right now, this is the opening price, right? Let's enlarge the wicks for better understanding. Let's say this is the wicks. Okay, this is the opening price, same opening price, because obviously this is where the candle opened, but it's a sell candle now because price closed below the opening price. So this is going to be the new close. This is going to be the new close. I mean, this is low is always low. This is going to be the new low. That's still the high because high is high. This is the body. I'm coming, give me a minute. Hello, my leader. How you doing? I me sef dey look am because I dey meeting like this sef. All right, no wahala. Sure, no wahala. All right, now my leader, stay safe. So sorry about that. Yeah. So this is the body, and obviously the week is the week. This is the week. Okay, you get. So that's what all these jargons on the screen looks like. So this candle now, it opens depending on the time frame. So this is a 1 hour time frame now. This candle that I drew out, after the 1 hour time has elapsed, this is 8:42. Once it's 9 o'clock, another one, this one will close, another one will open. Before it's closed, it will be moving. before it's closed, it can be moving like this, be moving like this, be moving like this, be moving like this, go back to a buy, be moving like this. But by the time the 9 o'clock hits, bam, wherever it stops is the closing price. Wherever it stops is the closing price, because another candlestick will open. And guess what? The new candlestick is going to open where this one closed. So a new candlestick now, for instance, if I want to draw another candlestick, it will open, this one close here, a new candlestick will open here. Then it can sell or you can buy whatever you want to do it to do. But after every 1 hour, you have a new candle depending on the time frame. After every 4 hours, after every day, after every week, after every month, after every 5 minutes, you can see all the time frames here. 1 second, 5 seconds, there's candle for every single second. Right? So that's just going to be what I will talk about today for explaining candlesticks. Then in the next class on candlesticks, I'm going to talk about the fractality of time. The fractalities of time. I don't even know if that's like English, but yeah. Because they say one thing that they always say is that time is fractal. That time is fractal. So I will explain that in the next class. Of the bearish candlestick. Okay, yeah. I must also mention when a candle is buying, they call it bullish, selling, bearish. Or when the market is buying, basically bullish, selling, bearish. I mean, if you're in finance, you'll be conversant with this term. Okay, if you have been paying attention, when we move to this 1 hour time frame, this current 1 hour time candle was a sell candle. You can see that it has turned to a buy candle. It has turned to a buy candle now, meaning that it has gone above its opening price. Right? Also, if you want to be sure of the exact digits, once you click on the candle, if you look up here, you can see it. Open, high, low, and close. Once you click on this red bearish candle now, you can see where the price is open, price it's closed, price is the lowest point, the highest point, everything like that. So, but I'll send the recording anyway. So whatever you don't get, you can get it from the recording. So that is that on the anatomy of a candlestick. So now I want to quickly run down on the weekly outlook for those that have been or are kind of conversant with trading. For those that are kind of conversant with trading. Starting from the dollar index. I start my analysis on the daily time frame. For some couple of weeks now, this low here has been our target, and we eventually got there today. We eventually got to this low today on the daily. So on the 4 hour time frame, CPI brought us here because there was CPI this week. CPI is short for Consumer Price Index. Is a news event that happens in America that tracks inflation rates in America. So that about that. All right. So any questions? Let me answer a couple of questions. Does it mean that on the red candlestick you drew, the buyer won the trend? No. There's nothing like buyers and sellers, but let's just use that for the sake of properly understanding things. The red candlestick is a bearish candle. That means the candle is a selling candle, right? It's red because of I chose for it to be red. right? But the why it's actually a bearish candle or a sell candle is because it is below the worth of that candle is below its opening price. It's like say you buy a biscuit for let's say you buy a biscuit for 20 naira, right? Let's say that biscuit is a candlestick. Let's just say it's a candlestick. You buy a biscuit for 20 naira. If you sell the biscuit for 18 naira, you've taken a loss, haven't you? So that would be a red biscuit or a red candle biscuit. And if you buy it for 20 naira and you sell it for 25 naira, that would be a what? That would be a green candle biscuit. What's the idea? The idea is that you sold that or you closed the deal either below or above the market price or the price that you bought. So when the candlestick opens, it opens every time at a new price, always mostly where the previous candle closed. So it will open at a new price. So when the price goes above its opening price and closes above its opening price, is a buy candle. When it sells, that means goes below its opening price, is a sell candle, right? And then the wicks are just there to show you some kind of history that okay, price has been here at some point, right? But it did not close there. You get now we have to be very honest, we have buy and sell candles. We also have neutral candles. Candles that okay, maybe when they opened, they bought, they sold, they bought, they sold, and at the end of the day, they closed at the exact price that it opened. That's a neutral candle. We did not, it's not a buy or a sell candle, it's just a neutral candle. So we have that, but it's always very rare, sha. Always very rare nowadays. Yeah. So any other questions before we round up? So you know what? I just got an idea. So I'll relate. I'll relate the idea to the group. All right. Take care. Have a lovely evening. I'm sure. I hope. Okay. I hope I was able to provide a lot of value. And if you gain a lot of value, you can just thumbs up. I would open the group for. I'm not going to open it for long tonight. Just 5 minutes or 10 minutes to just get some questions for those of you that have really long questions and stuff like that. All right. Take care and have a lovely evening. And enjoy the weather. It's raining here, Sha.